am live. Hello. Hello. Welcome. It is podcast batching day. And today, our next guest is the director of Everheal and a creator of 4-Step Life Formula program. With a PhD in analytic research and a personal journey overcoming multiple sclerosis, she now empowers people struggling with fatigue, brain fog, stubborn weight gain, and autoimmunity to improve their health through diet, lifestyle, and mindset shifts. Now, I know this lesson is going to be a look in the mirror, Sally, kind of episode, but I probably need a good kick up the butt to start looking after me before I worry about looking after clients first, which is pretty much how I roll most of the time. But today's guest is Allyson Brown from Everheal, and also returning to help co-host is our amazing Ash. Let's all welcome Allyson. Yay!
Hello.
Hello, Allyson. Lovely to have you join us on Strategy with Sally. Before we get into like the questions and the tips that you're going to like share with us today, I would love to learn a little bit about, where's your background coming up and then starting this Everheal business? What was that journey for you?
Yeah, thank you so much for having me, Sal. And nice to see you, Ash, as well, and everybody tuning in. So my journey started off in 2005 when I was in the second year of my PhD research in forensic analytical chemistry, of all things. And I started getting some weird symptoms, and I found out that I had multiple sclerosis. Now, this was really debilitating at the time. Obviously, high pressure situation, lots of stress, been in a bad relationship. So emotionally, it was quite draining as well. And I started to really struggle with my symptoms. Had a lot of fatigue, a lot of brain fog, a lot of physical symptoms as well. But I managed to kind of get things on track enough to kind of keep it to a level where I was getting like one relapse a year, which meant that usually I'd lose my leg function a little bit or my brain function. But I managed to kind of still hold down a job. So it wasn't until 2018 when I was working in a corporate job and I had some real light bulb moments. I was trying to work out what 8 divided by 2 was, and my brain was just like, no idea. There was nothing coming to my head, and I actually had to resign from that job, and I was looking for a way out. How do I fix these symptoms that I'm getting? And there was this little voice inside my head that said, why don't you change your diet? And I was like, like everybody else probably, I was like, oh my God, that was the last thing I want to do. And anyway, but I knew I didn't have any other option. So I reluctantly changed my diet, only to find out that 3 months later, my brain fog went away. I had all this energy again. My brain was thinking clearly. I didn't have anxiety and depression. I was like, what just happened? I didn't get it. I tried the medication, that didn't work. So I started researching and finding out the links between diet and all the symptoms that I was experiencing, which put me on the path to go, well, if I didn't know this, I need to help other people who wouldn't know this either so that they can actually restore their health and quality of life too. So that's what really led to Everheal. Sorry, that was a long-winded explanation.
No, it wasn't long at all. I thought the story was great because, you think changing your diet, but people resort to medication first, right? And it's probably a second or third thought down the track that maybe it can be helped with diet. And it's awesome that that you were able to find that, and now helping other people with this. So I guess you figured out the path and you've created a system. So how long have you been running Everheal for now?
So I think it was in 2019 that I started to build my program out. So yeah, I think I've been helping people sort of then. I'm pretty sure I didn't really start till 2020. And that's when COVID hit. But that was a great opportunity to record all of my videos for my program and get all that stuff ready. So so it's been a few years, but I've had some amazing clients along the way. And it's just so heartwarming and beautiful to see when they go, oh my God, Allyson, I'm feeling better. And I'm like, yay, we've got
Yeah.
another one that's, that's changed their lives. It's so good, so
It
good.
must be super scary getting and hearing that diagnosis, that you've got MS. I remember the MS readathon when I was in primary school. Like it's a scary thing. So, just dealing with that alone, just the diagnosis, and then how long did it take you from like diagnosis to figuring out like the food thing was really the one that made that bigger shift for you?
Well, it was, as I said, I was diagnosed in 2005, and I did what everybody does, which is get on the medication bandwagon. And I did it for 15 years. So I was on
Wow.
injections I probably had almost 10,000 injections over that 15-year period, and it didn't help. Like it
Mm.
was keeping me stable-ish, like 1, 2 relapses a year, which was like, well, that's pretty good. But I stumbled across the food thing when there was a lady at work. I had a really bad relapse, couldn't walk properly, but my brain function was still okay. So I decided to go back to my corporate job, and I had to have a walking stick to get around the office. And there was a lady that just said to me, "Have you ever tried changing your diet?" And I went, "No." And I was thinking, "No, crazy lady. Why would I think of doing that? Because I've got a disease that's not really going to be fixed by diet." And she said, "Well, I've got an autoimmune condition and diet really helps me." So she was like, "I'll bring in the cookbook for you, and I'll give it to you." And I was like, "Yeah, yeah, yeah, whatever." She brought in the cookbook, and I was like, "Oh my God, I can't not do that now because otherwise she's going to know." So I was kind of forced to kind of have that accountability, and it started to work. I got my leg function back. Things
Wow.
started, but it wasn't at that point that I made the connection.
Mm-hmm.
Wow, food got me better. I didn't make the connection then. It wasn't until I really hit rock bottom in 2018 with my brain function that I was like, what can I do? And that little voice was like, why don't you change your diet again? That seemed to help last time. Even though
Yeah.
it wasn't a conscious thought of mine.
Yep.
But yeah, so I did. And look, it really helped.
It's awesome, that you were able to make that connection and now helping other people. I know, like us, we are in the service based business as well. And it's so amazing helping other people and seeing that this thing that I figured out, I can help other people. And then you see the transformation at the end. And especially, I think for you, that health and wellness, I mean, that is something that people struggle with so much in, making sure that they're feeling healthy and good. And because you've also got that stronger diagnosis of MS, I mean, it probably comes with a lot of other things associated with it, right? That because you get kind of pigeonholed into that and you think you've just got to take medication. So I love what you've done. I'm going to handball it over to Ash. We will move in to the actual questions that we're here today, because our topic today is last on the list, why your health deserves a promotion. So I'll let Ash start the topic off for us today. We're learning how to co-host together on the fly. We have not even talked about how this should work. So roll with us, people. Never had a co-host before, so this is
You
cool.
got to learn sometime, and it gives you a moment today, especially doing so many podcasts and batching. You can breathe and have a moment to rest your poor little voice. So yeah, last on the list, and I'm sure I certainly feel it. I put a lot of people before myself, Sally the same, and a lot of business owners, entrepreneurs. It's go, go, go all the time. Why do so many people struggle to make health a priority?
Well, like what you just said, like we get this busy badge, it's like a badge of honor to be like, oh, I'm really busy. I'm prioritizing clients and revenue and deadlines and growth in my business. And, it becomes one of those things which is like a nice to have. So we become reactive to it, not proactive. It's always I wouldn't have changed my diet if I didn't get an MS diagnosis, which forces you to do something, right? So you're in a position where you have to focus on it. You know, and a lot of common beliefs are like, oh yeah, I'll focus on my health when things slow down a bit. I don't really have time right now. I'll do it later. But it's like when we've got the chronic stress, we have this sort of nervous system deregulation, dysregulation, sorry, where we get this constant sort of go, go, go mode, which means that it kind of pushes our health aside. We've got stress all the time. We do poor habits, like, you know, we'll go to get takeaway for dinner because, well, we're just exhausted from working all day and the stress of everything. This leads to us getting sort of symptoms and low energy, which creates more stress. And honestly, what I learned the hard way is that if you don't make time for health, you'll soon be forced to make time for illness, which is kind of crazy.
Absolutely. Sally and I were actually literally talking about that yesterday, regarding, you know, noticing signs and what to do to prevent further illness or burnout or, you know, situations arising before we get to that point. And Sally, for example, doesn't know anything but the crash, me calling her out right now, is that Sally will go and go and go and knows that at a certain period of time we hit a brick wall and that's it, and we got to stop completely and we can't progress any further. And we had a discussion just about, like, what would it look like if that didn't happen? What would it look like if there were systems in place, signs that you could recognize and things that you could do to prevent that? And her response was, doesn't exist. Not real, can't happen. This is who I am. So on the back of that, what are the key signs that your body needs to rest? And what do you look for? What do you listen to? And Tally, grab a pen and paper and take some notes. I'll do the same. Pot and kettle. I'm calling her out. I'm just as bad. So pot and kettle. I've got some sticky notes and I've got a pen.
Not the 3-hour work week. It's the 136-hour work week, right?
Yeah.
I love working a 9-to-5 job. I'm free to work my 136 hours whenever I like. Anyway, what are the signs that we need to rest, slow down and stop?
I love it. Look, it's all the classic signs that we just ignore. And we think are just part of life, or, you know, that just happens when I eat this food or do this thing. You know, so it's the classic ones. It's brain fog, it's fatigue, it's the 3 p.m. crashes, it's poor sleep, reflux, mood swings, irritability, digestive issues, got headaches, body and joint ache, getting sick often, having anxiety or feeling tired but wired, and that stubborn weight gain that happens. Like, all of these things are signs from your body that it's saying, hello, you're not listening to me. And honestly, it starts as a whisper. It's like, hey, sorry, but, you know, just got a little headache coming on here because I'm not really happy. And then it turns into like, you know, it tries to scream at you. And that's when we get things like, you know, burnout, or, you know, things even more serious, which are autoimmunity, chronic illness. And from like a business perspective, this completely reduces our performance. Like, we've got less thinking capability. We make more mistakes. It's harder for us to actually do our job and help other people. So, I mean, if we look at it from a perspective of, you know, the airplane mode analogy, which is you've got to help somebody else first. Oh, sorry, you've got to help yourself first before you can help somebody else, right? But we kind of go, yeah, that's just a nice to have thing. But honestly, that's exactly what it is. And if we want to do our best to look after our families, to look after our clients, what better way to do that than to look after yourself? Self-care is not selfish.
Yeah.
It's the best thing that you can do.
And that's a huge, sorry, you go.
It's okay. I struggle with, like, I would love to, in my brain, I know I should, but should versus doing is two different things. Like, I'm like, when Ash said to me, wouldn't it be nice to not crash? And I'm like, but I've always done it. I'm in my 40s now and I'm used to like go, and then a couple of doona days, right? It's just the pattern I've been in for so long. And she goes, you know, you don't have to crash. And I'm like, Yeah, I do. Because it's been that way for so long. How do you break that cycle? Because my brain doesn't stop, right? I'm ADHD, I'm go, 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 go. And I love it. Like my therapist said, it's a superpower what we have, but then the crash comes and I am what is it? I ignore things. I ignore that I'm in pain. I ignore that I'm sore until I'm like, oh shit, I can't get out of the chair. Breaking that pattern, that I think is the hardest part. Because at the moment, I just accept that's the way I live. And it's my superpower, which is probably not good for me long term, right?
And every
Well,
superhero has a kryptonite, Sally.
that's true. But it's like that badge of honor. It's like, no, 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 I'm strong. I'm a strong, powerful woman because I can deal with this stuff and I just get stuff done, right? And although that is a superpower to be able to do those things, and most often it will be women, mums particularly, and business owners that just go, yeah, 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 nice to have, I'll deal with it later. But it really is that whole, if you don't make time for wellness, you'll sooner or later have to make time for illness, which is where those big crashes come. Or more severely, it can turn into things that are like chronic health conditions like me. So I just ignored the signs for years,
Yeah.
And it wasn't until, so how old was I? I was 23 when I got diagnosed. So my whole time till then was just the same old standard stuff. I just ate whatever I wanted, didn't think anything out of it, just burnt myself out as much as possible until my body just went, no, 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 you've got to rest. But it wasn't until 2018 when I changed my diet thinking that it would make any difference. So yeah, it's a really hard thing because you're trying to break the habit of being yourself and what
Yeah.
you know to be yourself. Yeah, really tough.
So a lot of, and you sort of hit the nail on the head before, and men are impacted as well, but especially women. Women are the caretakers. They are, when, we're business owners, we're out, we're showing face and we're brave and we're happy and we're strong and we put the smile on for everyone. And it can be really hard to turn it off and be real sometimes and say, hey, no, I'm struggling. And there's like a tiny bit of, I think it's come a long way now, but there was sort of that shame behind saying, hey, something's not quite right, or I need a minute, or I need help, especially with illness and invisible illness. Invisible illness is one of the hardest things because in some cases it is a disability. Like sometimes it's not a fully recognized, a quotation mark for those who are only listening, disability, but it's a disability nonetheless because it's debilitating. It stops you in your tracks and you can push and push and push as much as you like, but something's got to give. Something's got to change. Something has to be done. And I guess while society figures itself out and accepts that, hey, women are allowed to cry and it's not bad to cry, men can cry too. We can all cry. And we can all accept that our health needs some help, or there are things that we can do to be better, feel better, do better without always doing more. As busy business owner, we sit at our desks and we work really hard for 12 hours in a row and we might not take a lunch break or something along those lines. What would you say for business owners who are, on the go all the time? How can they boost their energy and reduce that inflammation, or healthy lunches, for example, when you're at your desk in the office and the only thing next door is a burger place, which I'm guilty of.
Yeah, look, I mean, it's difficult to sum it up in a few sort of words, but I would say there's kind of 4 key areas that you'd want to focus on. So in terms of, getting your body to thrive, it starts with nutrition for sure. And when it comes to business owners, a lot of us will rely on the quick pick-me-up kind of things like caffeine or sugar. and we don't eat a proper meal. Excuse me, we don't eat a proper breakfast, which doesn't give us the energy for the day. So we go, oh, coffee, 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 just to get by. But then we crash really hard when it gets to 3 p.m. So we want to make sure that we're eating, real whole foods. Excuse me. And staying hydrated. Staying hydrated is really, really important as well. Making sure that we've got electrolytes in our water, which actually means that our body is more able to absorb the water as well, which is, super critical. Definitely planning ahead is really good. And I would definitely recommend, I've just got my cheeky one here, is a smoothie. Smoothies are huge in my family because there's sustainable energy. You can mix a whole bunch of stuff in them, which means that you've got all this goodness that's easily absorbed by your body as well. So that's one of my big ones. The second thing would be to make sure that we move more as well. Obviously, nutrition is one part of it, but for a healthy body, we want to make sure that we're taking some little micro breaks, doing some stretching, getting the yoga out, doing the Pilates, going for a run if you can. Even just standing up for a little bit can be a really big stress release as well. So doing those micro movements during the day is really, really helpful. And I think it's around mindset changes. Will be the third one, to really avoid that all or nothing thinking. Well, if I'm not going to overhaul everything, well, I might as well just not do anything, right? And the idea, like what you were talking about, Ash, is the sort of stereotype that we put on self-care as being like lazy, or I want to take a moment for myself, and that means that I'm kind of lazy, or I'm not looking after my clients because I'm looking after myself. That seems selfish, that kind of stuff. So really making the time to make yourself a priority helps everybody else. So that's a really good one. And remembering that it's progress, not perfection, and we don't have to do all or nothing. We can just do a little bit. Which is really, it's so, so important. So even just asking, what does my body need right now? Really, really important. And the last thing would be nervous system regulation. So with our busy, crazy busy lives, full of stress, we're in fight or flight like all the time. And this impacts everything from our energy to our sleep to our ability to be able to digest our food. And so coming back to like the simplest way to reframe that is to come back to your breath. And the great part is that that's a tool that you've got all the time. It's right there. You can use it anytime. So just taking a couple of minutes even just to kind of come back to the breath, super, super easy way to just get the noise to just settle so you can think again. Really, really good.
Yeah, the breath work, my husband's grandmother, she wrote a book called Happiness is Just a Breath Away, because she truly believed in the power of the breath, and she lived into her 90s, was so happy all the way through. She hardly had any illness until she was in her 80s and fell down some stairs, and she said to me, I just don't understand how you put up with pain every day, because like I got diagnosed like you, 23, with fibromyalgia. So like I just live with pain. It's just the degree that varies day to day. And she had lived such a healthy life. She never really experienced the sort of thing that I went through. And she put it all down to the power of her breath work that she was always consistently doing. And I know Ash has been along to a couple of your breathwork sessions, and I think was saying that she can never normally focus, like meditation focus, and it was the first time she had ever really like actually been able to do and follow because of the breath work. I'd love to
And
know more about.
visualization as well, for sure.
Yeah.
Like
That was it, wasn't it? Visualization.
No, well, focus as well, but visualization for me is really hard. They say there's like 4 sections of visualization. It's knowing there's an apple there, but you can't see anything. Seeing a pencil sketch of an apple, seeing a fancy painting of an apple, and then something else. For me, it's kind of like, is that a lemon? I'm not quite sure. So visualization was very different. Yeah, tell Sally all about it and the listeners, because they're going to love it.
Yeah, when it comes to visualization, it's more about the feeling. If you feel that there's an apple there, it doesn't matter whether you can't really see it, but if you kind of just know that that's what you're sort of feeling. I guess that's the most important part of it. But yeah, the breath work that we do is so, so cool. It was invented by Brian Kelly, who's the inventor of 9D breath work. And as Ash would have experienced, it's got 9 dimensions. You put your headphones in and you're in another space. They guide you through this breathwork journey. There's music, there's solfeggio frequencies, and it really takes you to a different place, which I find to be very, very cool. But it's all about nervous system regulation. And it's about, if you ever want to test whether or not you have problems with getting your brain to switch off, if you're not aware of it, try just closing your eyes and relaxing for 1 to 2 minutes and see how many thoughts come into your mind. See whether you can clear your mind and just think of nothing. I dare you, because honestly, we did it with some clients the other day and they're like, oh my God, it took me the whole time to try to just get my brain to just shh. So it's really, really common that we just keep being wired for this sort of intensity, and we just need to learn to switch off a little bit to just calm the farm. Yeah.
I like at night when I struggle to sleep, I will find myself a sleep meditation with, binaural beats and all the things, and it goes for like 6 hours, and I'll pop it in and I'm like, this is going to work. And then, the next thing I hear them say, and good night. And it's a 6 hour and I'm still here and I'm still awake. And I'm like, good night? No, it's been 6 hours. I've been listening to this, trying to fall to sleep. So I guess it's practice. It's a bit of a muscle, I guess, that you can grow. I like to try to lucid dream. So that means trying to get myself to the point where I can visualize something, and then while I'm sleeping, I can lucid dream. It's really fun. But again, that's not shutting my brain off. That's turning my brain on to work more, right? Because I want to be awake in my dream. So I'm actually going to have to come along to one of your breathwork sessions to feel that, what Ash said, that her being able to visualize and focus much better. Very interesting. I just see that one of our Academy clients has just said, wow, that's amazing. Well, Allyson, you are now an expert inside of our OmniSpark Academy and studio. So you're regularly running sessions around health and wellness for our community. What are some of the cool things that we're going to be able to experience now that you're one of our experts?
Yes, I'm so excited about this. So I'll be doing every second week will be a 9D session. So I'm going to get people to be able to experience it. So please come along and just have a free 9D session. This is all about relaxing the body, letting go of trauma, just getting into that space where you can finally just stop for a second. Just give yourself that time. Really, really powerful. Next week, I'll be talking about breaking up with sugar. So we're going to be talking about some big stuff that obviously I was addicted to sugar for like 30 years, by the way. So it was big for me to come off sugar. But I'll give some tips about how to come off sugar. But there's lots of great stuff that we're doing. So every second time we'll be doing nutrition, like a deep dive into some level of nutrition. And then every other time it will be, the 9D breathwork session. So I'm super excited about that.
And I think this is like we vet all of our experts, and we knew that what you do, I think, is super important to, the clients that we have and the people that are in our academy. As business owners, we do neglect ourselves, as we've been discussing. So I'm really excited to have you share your beautiful knowledge with us. And I'm just going to make it like a thing for our team even. We'll tag team in and out, but to come along, because I think it's even valuable for our team, for their health and wellness as well, to jump into those sessions too. Especially like the feedback that I've had from Ash. I think I sent Vernodi into one of your sessions as well a little while ago. So yeah, we've had some fabulous feedback coming into the team. That's why I knew when you sent your application, I'm like, yes, definitely. Let's get Allyson in. It's going to be so good. And also a little bit of a mirror for me, like look at what I'm doing. I have really been burning myself out a lot lately because we are back in kind of a bit of a startup phase with this business that I am burning candles and, I know, and I've been here before with business, but I have to start to look after myself. Last time it was 10 years, 12 years ago, I was much younger, and somebody said to me a little while ago, like, if you want to start improving your health, like in your 40s, you need to do it now. Because if you try to do it when you're 80, it won't be as easy to improve your health by then. So I have to personally, and it's okay, I'm saying this on a live now, I need to take better care of myself. I need.
Everybody heard it, right? Everybody
Yeah.
heard it. Write that down. Note
Don't
that
tell
down.
Danny.
When I say walkies, are we going walkies?
We go walkies, yes.
Okay, I like walkies. I'm like a
Yeah.
Labrador.
We don't walk with my husband though, because he's
too fast.
Yeah, Ash went on a walk with him one day, and then she didn't pull up well after and said, "No, I'm not doing that again." He's so fast, but he walks like 3 times a day. He goes out, and he's very regimented, where I am not. I have a schedule, but I have people telling me when I need to be places. So actually putting time aside to say this is like I need to do this is something that I put off. But I see a nurse that just does health checks every 3 months. And for like 2 years, she says, like, just put your shoes on. Just do that. Next time, put your shoes on and walk to the door. So maybe just those little, like Ash coming down and let's go walkies and just walking around our backyard. That's nice too. So yes, everybody, I've heard you all send me a message and say, did you do your walkies today? Maybe that'll entice me.
Amazing. When we finish today, we're going walkies. Yay. But we need an umbrella. Maybe we'll go walkies and
not with the
see
hair,
Allyson.
baby. I can't go in the rain with the hair.
They say that you miss it once and it's an accident. You miss it twice and it's a choice. So how can we, I guess, use that a little bit towards focusing on our health and our attitudes and our choices to do better?
Yeah. And I think what we look for most of the time is we look for motivation. If we set our alarm clock at 5 a.m. to go, I'm going to wake up tomorrow at 5 and I'm going to go for a walk. And then the alarm goes off. And what happens? You go, oh no, go away. I don't want to. Because the motivation isn't there at that time, right? Whereas when you change that into some level of discipline and you kind of go, I'm committing to doing this, it's so much better. It's so much easier, even though it is hard, but it's hard for a little bit and then it gets really easy because you've formed a habit, and it takes an average of 66 days to form a new habit. So that one time that you actually went, yes, I'm really motivated, and you did it. And then the next day, as you said, like you go, oh yeah, maybe tomorrow I'll do it. And then it's like, I've forgotten all about that. I did that thing and now it didn't work and whatever. It's really hard to form these habits that actually last. But discipline, having an accountability buddy is so, so key. Like it really makes a difference. So I love that you guys are going to do walkies together, because that means that you can actually, motivate each other to go until it becomes like, well, that's what we do. When it becomes a habit that you just do, it's easy then from then on, right?
Yeah.
It's so much easier.
I'd like to get it to that point where it's just a habit and not such a push, because I'm always like, but I've got this to finish and I've got that to finish. But there's always.
What did you say to me the other day? There's always something unfinished. There's always a job to do. And you said that to me.
Yeah.
Did everybody hear that? Write that down as well. And
do as I say, not as I do.
Yeah,
I know.
We'll all take notes and compare notes at the end of the call. But there is always something to do. There's always something broken. There's always someone who needs help. But if you're not there to help them, then what? If you're not healthy, like right now, you might fix that thing or build that website or all of that kind of stuff. But if you let it go, one day you may not be there to answer those questions or fix that thing or build that website. Let it break for 5 minutes so that you don't break.
Yeah.
Allyson,
And I just wanted to quickly say, unfortunately, I've lost about 3 people in my life who decided not to focus on their health. Like they've literally left this earth now, left their children
Sorry to hear.
behind and everything. And it was just because they didn't focus on their health. They didn't prioritize their health. One of them was my old manager, and, you know, he was almost on the edge of burnout. He was always talking about how many extra hours he'd done at work and wasn't getting paid for. And now he's gone. Because he didn't prioritize his health. So it's a really sobering reminder to me that it really is so important. So important.
Yeah.
If you could change one common misconception about health, what would it be?
Look, if you're experiencing those inflammatory symptoms like the brain fog, the fatigue, stubborn weight gain, or even autoimmunity, don't automatically just jump as the medication solution, because honestly, when we look at our diets, if first people just check their diets, I reckon 90% of people would be able to fix these symptoms and get them done without medication. Honestly, it's when it gets really, really chronic that it becomes much more difficult to reverse, but it is possible. So yeah, look, I tried masking the symptoms for years, and guess what? Medication's not for curing.
Yeah.
How many medications cure anything these days? It's always just, let's just keep it going in the background. So yeah, look, from a personal insight, I used to be the person that always had the painkillers because I've had chronic pain since I was 11. I always had the antacids and all that stuff. I used to just be the medication girl. Need medication? Yeah, come to me. I'm your dealer, kind of thing. And now, like, I'm off medications, and I just look for the root cause now. So I would honestly urge people to just go look for the root cause rather than just masking those symptoms. That would be the biggest misconception, is that people don't think they have control over any of it. It's just that it happens to them. And when we kind of go, okay, well, maybe there is something that I can personally do to help my situation, the game changes. The whole game changes. So really, really empowering when you can do that.
Yeah. So you've probably followed lots of people, and, you know, as we all do, right? There's not very many original thoughts in my brain. I've learnt from so many influencers and experts over the years. Who have been some of your biggest influences that have really shaped your approach, particularly to helping people with health and wellness?
Yeah, look, because I did so much research, like, I'm huge fans of the functional medicine practitioners that I learnt from, that were telling me, you know, that you can, you know, improve autoimmunity, or you can overcome cancer, or you can all these things. And I was like, oh my God. So the likes of Dr. Mark Hyman, Dr. Sarah Ballantyne, Dr. Terry Walls, you know, these people, they're not necessarily in the mainstream media spruiking their works, but they have some amazing work, so you look them up and find them. But yeah, those people would have definitely shaped my whole outlook on life. Totally changed it.
I've heard of Dr. Walls before. I have had a client that worked with her and did a few things with her. So, and she, again, had MS as well, and lots of influence come from her. And I think that's it, like looking up to people who have been through it, like yourself. Like if you've got MS or autoimmune, having and following a method. You know, you've got your method that you walk people through to help them. What are some of the biggest changes that you've seen in your clients that you've worked with?
Oh, like even people that come to me that they feel like they're doing all the right things, but when they come to me and they're like, all right, well, I don't think it's going to help, but look, I'll do your program and we'll just see what happens. And then they're like, Allyson, I actually have more energy and the tingling in my fingers is going. And, you know, they come up with these things that are kind of like, I always thought I was going to have to live with this for the rest of my life. You know, one of my first clients, I remember her coming to me, and she had optic neuritis, so she couldn't see out of one eye. She was wearing an eye patch. She walked with a walking stick, and 3 months after doing my program, she walked into her neurologist's office without her eye patch, without her walking stick, and they're like, "What the hell happened to you?" And she was like, "Well." And it's totally transformed her life. Like, she's now walking like 16,000 steps a day, stuff like that. Like, that's ridiculous.
That's
But
crazy.
in the most amazing way possible. Yeah.
Yeah. Seeing those types of transformations in what you do, of course you'll continue doing what you do, right? When you are able to help people with those types of things, like I know with what I do, even though, yeah, sure, we're tech and we do CRMs, it's that bigger purpose of helping people and seeing them transform their lives, their business, you know, the mindset shifts. It feels like a calling. I can't kind of put it any other way. It gives me goosebumps, even though
Yeah.
it is a little cold, and I have a heated blanket. Um, it's not the goosebumps is that's how passionate we are, and I can hear it in the way you speak and the passion and the love that you have for it. And thank God COVID hit so that you could actually focus in on sharing this with other people. So yeah, you're an inspiration, definitely, Allyson, with what you do, but to inspire other people to make real change in their life. Ash, are you ready for fast talk?
I think you can run this fast
You're going to
talk.
let
I've
me
done the
run
last
fast
couple.
talk. You've
You
done
have
the
a
last
turn. We
few.
share. We're learning to
We're learning to
share.
co-host together.
I'm learning to share my toys. Or Sally's
or-
learning to share Sally's toys.
Yeah. All right. So fast talk, Allyson. I know before we hit the live button, you're like, oh, I'm a bit worried about fast talk. Don't worry. We start off with some pretty easy ones. All right. So we got 2 minutes, and they're just if this or that type questions. Okay. So here we go. First one: meditation or journaling?
Meditation.
Sleep or early riser? Sleep in or early riser?
Sleep.
Yeah, baby. Snooze. Go away, Danny. Whole foods or supplements?
Whole Foods.
Nature walk or gym session?
Nature walks.
Oh, yeah. Give me big trees in a forest any day. Mindset or nutrition?
Oh,
That's
that's
a
a
tough one
tough
for you,
one.
baby.
Oh, I'm gonna say, nutrition. Oh, mindset. Oh, I don't know.
Morning smoothie or herbal tea? Oh, we're going to know this one.
Morning smoothie,
She's a
baby.
smoothie girl. Detox or daily maintenance?
Daily maintenance.
High protein or plant-based meals?
Plant-based.
Solo workout or group classes?
Groupies, baby.
Reading or listening?
Listening.
Yeah, me too. Audible
No
subscription
thanks.
for years. Oh, yeah, she's got a library in her house.
We're on a countdown. Come on.
Calm mornings or productive evenings?
Calm mornings.
Routine or flexibility?
Routine.
Prevention or recovery? Of course, we know this one.
Prevention.
Quick fix or sustainable change?
Sustainable change.
Meal prep or that one, cooking. Spontaneity.
Meal prep. Meal prep.
Meal prep. I like to go to the fridge and I'm like, what am I putting together? Health first or weight first? Energy first,
Health.
sorry, or weight loss first?
Energy first.
Quick fix. I've been through these. Sally. I really didn't do great at that fast talk. It was all on me that time.
Because I'm the reader, baby.
You are the reader. Just to finish that off, one word to describe your health journey.
Surprising.
All right. Now, before we close, if people want to learn more about you, where can they go stalk and find out more about Allyson?
Well, I've got a website, everheal.com.au. They can come there. Otherwise, they can join my free Facebook group, which is facebook.com/group/autoimmune diet.
Nice. Thank you so much, Allyson. Oh, actually, I've got to do the one before we finish. So you have to finish this sentence. It is, hi, I'm Allyson Brown and I sparkle because, and fill in the gap.
I sparkle because I'm me.
You're me. do it again by saying, hi, I'm Allyson. I think Ma is getting me to do this because she's going to make some kind of montagey thing with all our
right.
guests. So,
Hi, I'm Allyson, and I sparkle because I'm me.
excellent. Now, I'm not sure if we're allowed to mention something that's in the pipeline that we're working on collaborating. I'll leave it to you to explain, Allyson, but we have something in the pipeline together as well. Please, I'd love you. I was like, do we share it or not?
Yeah, awesome. We are doing the Leading Wellness Forum. So Dr. Simone Bohr and I are running the Leading Wellness Forum in Geelong for women professionals who want to take charge of their health and well-being. And Sally and the team are going to bring the sparkle, and it's going to be amazing. So one-day event, 9 till 3. Good for parents who want to come along to it, but it's going to be amazing. We're going to cover off some of those big ticket items of what you can do to take care of your health when you're a woman professional in business and you need some help in taking care of yourself. So you guys should definitely come along, and you are already. Yay!
Yeah. Well, we're finishing off your funnel. I think it's due at the end of this week. I think Ash said at least the top end of the funnel. So, yeah, it's looking really sexy. I don't think you've seen the funnel yet, have you? Have you seen the?
No, not for Leading Wellness.
No, it's looking real
Exciting.
sexy. I'm loving the look of it. Very professional. Vinodi's been getting her creative juices flowing with it. So I can't wait to show you. Well, thank you so much for joining, Allyson. Ash, you want to wrap up with anything? I'll let you.
Yeah, absolutely. So there's so much more to learn from Allyson than what we can cover in a short podcast episode. And Allyson has greatly offered a free health strategy session for anyone wanting to chat about their health and get some next steps to help them start feeling better as soon as possible. So, get in touch. You can contact us and we can get you in touch with Allyson. There'll also be some links around here somewhere. Take advantage of that free health session and just mention that you heard it here first, folks. Free health strategy session for anyone looking to really put themselves first rather than last.
Awesome. Well, thank you so much. It has been a pleasure. As always, guys, out there listening on the live or joining us on the replay podcast, never let anyone dull your sparkle. Get one income producing activity done every day, and every day be marketing.
Do, 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 do. I love that Alyson's doing it as well.
We have to totally get that thing done one day. Anyway, guys, thank you very much for joining us. We've had a fabulous day. We have been doing back-to-back podcast batching today, but it doesn't end here. There are more coming. Tomorrow, I also have another podcast batching day. And we have also locked in one for next week. So keep an eye on the YouTube channel for Sally Sparks Cousins or for Omni Sam. All of the guests are slowly being put into the YouTube channel so that you can see and you can listen to this live and raw before it's edited for the podcast. So there's lots more guests coming over the coming days. And Ash and I thought, while we're batching, we may also just do a couple of candid conversations where we just randomly come live. So over on those YouTube channels, make sure you not just hit the follow button, but you also turn on your notifications so that you will not miss if Ash and I decide to hit that button. Like if we decide to go live at 3 o'clock because we've been doing the odd hour all day, then you will get that notification. But thanks everyone for joining us, and we will see you all on the next live. Looks like there's lots of lives coming over the next few days. So we'll say bye for now, and I'll see you all on the next live. Oh, hang on. Where's my outro scene? That's not the right one. Neither is that one. Let's try this one.
You've been hiding in the shadows way too long. You always thought that you were weak, but babe, you're wrong. like you. Better step into the light, just give it a try. Think that it's time you let that spark out. You've been hiding in the shadows way too long.